Updates on efforts to install more electric vehicle charging stations in the city are outlined, a preview of the preliminary election for the District 2 seat on the Framingham School Committee, and a dive into the community's part in the legacy of musicians like Louis Armstrong and Ella Fitzgerald, as we look into the history of the Maridor and the famous artists who passed through it. I'm Brendan Fitzpatrick, and this is The Frame, Framingham News in Focus. Hello and welcome to The Frame, an initiative of Access Framingham. We begin with the Traffic Commission meeting from this Tuesday, August 26th, as the board heard updates on efforts to develop more on-street electric vehicle charging stations across the city. The Massachusetts Clean Energy Center is offering Framingham $500,000 for a pilot program to develop 3 or 4 new EV stations across the community, as ownership of these vehicles has grown locally since the start of 2020. Sustainability Coordinator for Framingham, Sean Luz, informed Commission members on Tuesday that the number of plug-in EVs in the city has grown over 500% since then, while the number of plug-in hybrids has gone up 277%. After reviewing 11 proposed sites and receiving feedback from local residents, Luz said the most well-received location for an on-street EV station is the portion of Lincoln Street by the main public library branch. While parking there can be complicated, Luz said that the program could provide more specific parking regulations to that area.
I think, generally speaking, I would like to explore the idea of having the spaces, especially in really parking constricted areas, having them be available for everybody during the day, and then at night being exclusively electric vehicle only. And so that would give some flexibility during the day for anybody to park there.
Other top contenders to receive a station: Union Ave by the Memorial Building, Butterworth Park, and Waverly Street by the MBTA station. Traffic Commission members suggested that factors such as street sweeping, emergency situations like snowstorms, and explicitly clear signage should be investigated further during this process.
It's getting complex. I mean, who can park where, when they can park, what overrides what doesn't override, things like that. So I think signage is going to be very important for these locations.
The Traffic Commission will be picking this topic back up on September 23rd. Luz believes that the selection of sites should be finalized by mid-September. Tuesday, September 16th is an important day for residents living in District 2, as a preliminary election for the Framingham School Committee will be taking place that day. 3 candidates will be on the ballot for this special election: the incumbent, David Gordon, along with challengers Luther Evans and Lorena Tovar. To begin our election coverage here on The Frame leading up to November, we spoke with all 3 candidates vying for the District 2 School Committee seat. The trio emphasized a need for collaboration and transparency, as they pointed to aspects of the school district such as school bus transportation, possible new sources for funding, higher educational standards, and staff retention. Here's a preview of just a part of our conversations with Gordon, Evans, and Tovar.
I want people to realize that I'm on their side and that it's my job to try to make things easier as they navigate just life and the nuances of adolescence and, everything that's coming in, outside of that world too.
I definitely see an opportunity to implement my skills that I've learned in the past to really help out the students here, and I'm just really passionate about that.
I care very much about equitable access to education. I care very much about having all children have positive experiences in the foundational years of their education.
Now, the top 2 vote-getters on the preliminary election ballot will be moving on to November's election to decide who takes the District 2 seat. Our full interviews with Gordon, Evans, and Tovar are on Access Framingham's cable and YouTube channels. Once more, that preliminary election for the District 2 School Committee seat will be held on September 16th. Polls that day will be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, September 6th, is the deadline to register to vote in that preliminary election. In-person registration will be open until 5 o'clock that afternoon, while online registration will be available until 11:59 p.m. The deadline to request a vote-by-mail ballot for the preliminary school committee election in District 2 is 5 p.m. on Tuesday, September 9th. Head to the city's official website, www.framinghamma.gov, for more voting information. If you want more details on the top stories we cover every week on our program, be sure to visit our website, www.theframe.news. There you can find full written articles, feature pieces that we've completed across the community, and a calendar filled with upcoming events in Framingham and the Metro West region. Subscribe to our email newsletter too, so that you're always up to date with Framingham News in Focus. The physical needs of the Memorial Building were discussed during the City Council Finance Subcommittee's meeting on Tuesday the 26th. A new roof for the structure is part of the city's capital budget plan for the 2026 fiscal year. City officials noted last month that the building's current exterior is suitable for the next 2 to 3 years, while Nevins Hall will likely require renovations within the next 4 to 5 years. Director of Facilities Management for the city, Jim Paolini, told city councilors this week he hopes that the roof work will start prior to the winter. As for future plans, Paolini said challenges exist with evaluating the current older infrastructure within the building's bathrooms and the structure itself. Mayor Charlie Sisitsky said one of the city's priorities is to get bathrooms on every floor of the Memorial Building, as that can make a venue like Nevins more viable for additional events.
Nevins Hall is the largest venue between Boston and Worcester, when you think about the capacity of it. But yet we can't use it the way it should be used because we can't provide services, facilities for people that would attend.
Additional ADA compliance and fire alarm upgrades are other projects that Paolini mentioned may come down the pipe in the next year or two. As for long-term renovations, he explained that due to high masonry and construction prices, the city will have to remain vigilant in exploring options for the Memorial Building's exterior envelope. And finally this week, a preview of our frame-by-frame segment as we continue our series in conjunction with the Framingham History Center celebrating Framingham's 325th anniversary of incorporation. Big band music is one of the staples of American cultural history. But did you know that Framingham was a place where some of the biggest names in the genre would gather? Legendary artists like Ella Fitzgerald, Duke Ellington, Louis Armstrong, and Frank Sinatra all made their way to the Maridor, which once stood right along Route 9. We wanted to learn more about the city's part in this music's legacy. Let's take a look.
What was the Maridor?
Maridor was a pretty special place.
It was really more than a supper club. It was about a place of gathering, of dancing, of hearing music, but really of a place where people could go and see each other and talk and connect.
I think we must have more of this now. Getting out amongst other people is the only way I think we can have a great community.
That full frame-by-frame segment can be found on our website, theframe.news, as well as our social media accounts. Follow us on Instagram at @FrameNews_, and find us on Facebook by simply searching for The Frame. Subscribe to Access Framingham's channel on YouTube, and hit the bell icon there to receive a notification whenever we upload new content. We invite you to our Spotify page as well, where we upload full episodes of The Frame for you to watch or listen to. That's all for this week's Framingham News in Focus. On behalf of everyone here at The Frame, thanks for joining us. My name is Brendan Fitzpatrick. We'll talk to you next week. Take care.